Erics, welcome back to Atlantis. And last time I left you with a question as to how we should proceed. And consensus was that we need to basically attempt to close the lid in. Apologies if I'm back. I am in a hotel, as is often the case, and I have a very squeaky chair. I'll try and minimize the noise. Apologies if it is noisy. I've also attempted to wedge a cushion against part of the mirror. I'm actually come up with a plan to try and help with mirrors in hotels for the noise that they create. So we are going to be working towards Operation Turtle. And my plan is to try and go for a domed roof. There are two parts to why I'm going to do this. Part one, some of you asked for it. Part two, I think it looks kind of cool. And the second part of part two is I am aware that all of this stuff, this top layer is designed to make it so that you can economically close a flat roof. I'm aware of that. I've had a go at trying to start to construct it. And I think in an ideal world, if I'd not dillied and indeed dallied for the first 8 cycles, I might have had a go at it because it's quite an interesting construction project. But we need to get our together and do some things that are a little bit quicker. And my plan for constructing the dome is going to be in layers, and those layers, much like an ogre or an onion, will allow for the fact that hopefully we can get the first few layers done, and that will buy us some time to do the construction that we need to do, because our infrastructure is not set up for this at all. And so, yes, in an ideal world, you'd have a nice flat top here, a bit like in the 80s. But in our current world where things are a bit screwed up, we're not going to do that. I'm going to be waffling for a bit. If you want to jump ahead, I'll try and do a bit of a... Been catching up with JC's videos. I'll try and do a bit of a JC, and I'll try and put a time code in for you to jump ahead to if you don't want all of the context. Plan A was to have enough beavers and enough water pumping going on to not need to do this. And I was curious about how many beavers we would need. And I'm just going to try and bring up through the power of doing stuff. And the screen has gone blank. Bear with me a second. There we go. So if I bring up Excel, I know all of the best fun is had around video games in Excel. And what I've tried to do here is work out all of the water sources and stuff that's going on. If this bores you, feel free to skip ahead. So we have 6 strength 0.4 water sources on the outside. We have 8 strength 0.1 sources on the outside. Up at the top, we have 4 strength 0.25 and 1 strength 0.5. That's all of our incoming water. And we then have the 3 negative 0.7 sources. If you add all of that up, on the outside we have 3.2, and then on the inside we have 1.5, and then we have the negative total of 2.1, and that gives us a plus 2.6 total. You still with me? Awesome. Now, I did a bit of Googling, and a strength 1 water source will produce, according to Reddit, 1,138 water per day. Now, just going off of that, because beavers consume, I think, about 2.2 water per day, we need 1,344 beavers in our colony. We don't have that many. Now, thankfully, we have droughts. I'm ignoring bad tides. This is bad form because during bad tides, the water's still going up, but just to get some kind of baseline. So in normal gameplay, you have a maximum temperate cycle of 17 days and a minimum drought of 5 days. That means we have 22 days in a cycle and we have 17 days of water production. So that means we're going to produce 50-ish thousand units of water over our 22 days. And that means we are producing 2,286 units of water to use in a cycle per day. And that's about 1,000 beavers. So if I wanted to be trying to use all of the water, I'd need 1,000 beaver colony. We have 75 beavers. I'm a long way off of that, clearly. Now, we've been doing some work, and we are working on shutting out 4 of the weaker sources outside. If I knock those out, we're down to about 900 beavers. Better. Some of you have suggested, and I'm on board with at the moment, knocking out the source in the middle. It's the stronger source and it's not too difficult to get to. If we can do that, we get down to about 700 beavers. If we had 700 beavers, we could overwhelm the incoming water and start to push it back, apart from in a bad tide. And this is a worst case. This is maximum length temperate cycle and minimum length drought. If either of those go the other way, we're putting a dent in the height of the water. So that's what I'm going to work on, a 2-pronged approach. Let's just go back to just the game. Hopefully OBS is going to be kind to me. There we go. So my 2-pronged strategy for dealing with what we have. We're going to start working on closing the top in. I'm going to carry on closing off the 4 sources that we are and this source in the middle. Long term, I'm going to undo all of that. I want to be able to not have sources closed off. We're going to work on expanding the population as rapidly as I think is safe with the food that we have available. And we're going to, three prongs. Close the lid, expand population, seal off some of the water sources. And that will allow us then hopefully to survive and push things back. If all of this fails, and if you cast your minds back to when I was talking about starting this series, and some of you might be new here because there have been a bunch of new folks, I did say that I wanted a series where I could fail. If I fail, I might restart knowing what I know now, depending on what you guys think. If you think it'll be boring to do that, I won't. But I am curious if I can, knowing what I know now, knowing how rapidly we need to grow the population, do that. So yeah, that's where we are. There's a few things we need to set up still before we unpause the game. So we need a metric hecton of science. It's a real unit. Please don't Google it. We need to be able to build the dirt excavator. We need a lot of treated planks and more metal. In the long run, we are going to need a lot more metal to build the structure that I plan to build. Annoyingly, I can't show you at the moment because we need to unlock a lot of stuff to build it. So we're going to be putting in another wood workshop, more storage for treated planks so that we can start making more of them, because we've only got 9 at the moment and we need a heck of a lot more than that. And probably we're going to start looking to improve our power generation and our power grid. That's a lot of waffling and rambling. So let's start looking at doing some of this. I should also say, this is my second go at recording this video. Not because I recorded it and I didn't like well, I didn't do well at what I did before. I'm going to try and recreate what I did before. I recorded the last version over the weekend. If you saw my community post, I was really burnt out over the weekend and it just wasn't very good. I wasn't feeling good and I didn't want to put out a rubbish video. I've done it before and it doesn't do the, my content justice, and it's an insult and a waste of your time for me to put out a poor quality video and then expect you to watch it. So we're going again. I know some content creators don't talk about doing this kind of stuff, but it's the reality of life. I was mentally exhausted. I felt obligated to make content. I made a video. I recorded content for a video that I wasn't happy with, so I'm not releasing it. It's the real world, folks. I am a real human. There we are. That's all of the bump. So if you missed all of the bump and you didn't pay attention, and later on you aren't sure why stuff is being done, then go back and watch the bit that you skipped. So let's think about the things we need to do. I really liked the suggestion for one of you, and actually it's going to help us to move this up here. It's going to help us in a couple of ways. One, it's going to let us keep using it for a bit longer, and B, it's just going to, we don't want it here because here is going to be construction. So yep, let's move that. We're going to come in with some platforms. We're going to want some small flywheels. We're going to want another double platform. We're going to want a few double platforms. Do something like that. Grab a windmill. Bosh. We want a triple platform. Bosh. Stick you there. Stick you there. Connect it all up like so. And because this stuff is too high, it is too high and too high, we're going to want some stairs so they can actually reach it. And then we're going to need some pathage. And that'll let them build that. And then we're going to delete this stuff because we don't want them to build both of them. So that's that sorted. Good job, us. Well done. I had another question actually, which I want to address. A couple of folks asked about whether I could platform and I guess overhang over these sources at the side and push water off the map that way. I had said I wasn't sure. I don't think it works. And comment said, no, it doesn't work. And I guess it's kind of obvious in a way because there's the water sources down here, stop water running off the map up here. So yeah, no, we can't do that. We are sealed in, folks. So, right. The next thing that I want to do is have a look at our industry and think about how we are going to do a better job of fitting in, or a good job of fitting in more stuffs. So we need storage for more metal and more treated planks. Currently, our only treated plank storage is this dude. And we want to check our automation for the treated planks. So let's come in here and take a look at this. Yeah, we need to adjust that. So let's grab a district capacity of treated planks. One Bosch script. Good stuff. And then we will copy this guy. We will throw you there and there, and you are the unpause, so you're going to be 0.8, and you are the pause, so you're going to be 0.95. Save, discard, close, save. Awesome. Right, so let's throw in. Put you there. Put you there. Put an ladder there. We'll be fine. Grab a path. Put you there, and then we can put an storage there. You are going to be for metal blocks. We make treated planks epically slowly. So I think what I'm going to do is just throw in a couple of small thingies for those. You and you and you we are going to remove. You do have automation attached to you. So I think what we do is we grab you, throw one of you there, get rid of you and you. You have, I'm going to hang on to you for a second. I'm going to grab a small pile. Small piles, folks. We don't want big piles. Bung you there, and then you have a capacity of 20, and your automation is set up like so. So I think you're fine. We'll do that. That will allow us to delete you. So let's do that. Yep, that'll be fine. Do I replace some of those with big windmills to up our power generation ability before we seal this off? Let us grab you, come over here. They're marked to be cut. That'll be good. And then let's throw in. I will unpause the game eventually, folks. Just give me a minute to think and to process. We want high and low. Copy, bosh, and then we'll duplicate those. 3. So that's what, 7. That's pretty good. I'm gonna throw in some builders' huts. Where do we want builders' huts? Anyone? I'm hoping that you are noticing an improvement in the audio quality because I have invested in a new microphone. It is better quality than the last one, and the last one wasn't super poor quality, and it's never going to get over the fact I have an awful sounding voice. I am very softly spoken most of the time, but we're doing what we can try and improve, you know. I'm also, before I unpause, I'm going to plant more wheat, because if we're trying to maximize or increase how many beavers we have, we need more food, and we want more housing. So, and let's let it run on slow now. But yeah, I think we want to try and put more housing in. And what I'm going to do is pause the game instantly, because I think better when the game is paused. I didn't mean to do that. That is freaking annoying. Oh, so annoying. Oh well, it is what it is. So we're going to put those back. We're going to make those high priority. You will respect my prioritar. Bung those in. I'm going to delete you and you. And one of you did point out that the houses are technically not more dense housing. But they're the houses we've got, folks. They're the houses we've got. So And we're going to chuck those in so we can make use of the space above the path. And then let's throw in you. Let's go up there. We'll then go straight to double platforme. That's another language for double platform. Please don't be offended by my stupid jokes. I am just a man making stupid jokes on the internet. I do not mean to offend people. And then we will throw in much more housing. Like so. Right. That is much building. So let's get the game running. I will be back with you in a few moments. Right, now I'm going to tackle things in... I did say I was going to try and recreate the same video, but I am going to tackle things in a slightly different order. If that bothers you, well, tough, I guess. I would like to... I am learning, you know. It would be silly of me not to learn from the things that we learn. That makes good words. So what I'm going to do is come across the back here. Is there a way that I can connect that up without blocking everything off? Not really. So I've kind of disconnected all of my industry, which was kind of dumb. What we can do is that doesn't really help me. Can you tell I've been at work all day, folks? If we do that, I guess we don't need all that crud at the back. And what we do is we put in Bosch. I'm not sponsored by Bosch, by the way. Would I take a Bosch sponsorship? Yeah, I'd take a Bosch sponsorship, but you know, like a washing machine and a dishwasher and all that kind of thing. If you're listening, Bosch, you know, I was 1.4K. Okay, so we've got a bit of time. We need to build up a little bit more science. Yeah, I've been having a bit of a moral dilemma on the old sponsorship thingies. Not that I get offers for that kind of thing, particularly. Had one in my entire time making YouTube videos. I used to do the Wraith Energy affiliate thing. If you're interested in that still, there is a link down below. I kind of stopped pushing it because it wasn't really doing anything other than the fact that I still drink the energy drink. And now I have to put a thing in to say this video now includes paid whatever. But anyway, if you, and this is a random aside while the beavers do some building stuff, and if this bothers you, well, this is what I do in some of my other videos that I make. I randomly talk about things while things happen. Because essentially we're waiting for some things to happen, you know? Things need to happen for the things to happen. Really wish they'd build, or did they build? Can they not get to build? You. Yeah. Okay, why are you not building those? I don't know. We'll give them a sec. Probably because they may be building these instead. Yeah. Okay. I'll let them off. Because getting more builders would be good. We had a whole load die. No. I made a whole load homeless. That's the thing. Yeah. If you follow in the UK, and I'm not going to go super political, but they are looking at introducing a age-based ban on social media. And what that actually means is to use social media in the UK, you're going to have to prove how old you are. And I'm not a huge fan of that. Because I'm not a huge fan of websites having to do things like store your ID. I think that's kind of dumb and invasive. So my I've been starting to look at VPNs to get around that. Now they are also talking about whether the UK are going to ban VPNs, but I don't think they can actually do that because we're not, some of the more insane countries in the world that ban VPNs. So anyway, so I'm not expecting that they will ban VPNs, but I've been looking at VPNs, and like affiliate programs for VPNs are a huge part of content creator stuff. So I have been looking at VPNs that also do affiliate programs, but it would be a VPN that I then genuinely actually use because, I'm kind of somewhat interested in, why is it not doing, because we have tiny capacity for treated planks. So we need to build our new treated plank stores. Bosh and bosh. And actually we're going to do another one because then by the time we get around to building the earth thingy, we might actually have all of them. And that means if we get these built quickly, we're not going to need all of this stupid thing that I put in. Nice. Right. So we can get rid of this stupid thing. Cool. Cool. And we now have a better power network that can hopefully generate a bit more power when the wind actually blows. Awesome. Right, now we need to look at the production things that we need. So the things that we want to build are more treated plank production and more metal production. I could really do with more storage for metal. So I think what we'll do is we'll also prioritize the building of that so we can start stockpiling metal. That would be a good idea, and that's quite a quick build, so that'll be fine. And we've got our new builders now, so let's do that, and let's just have a quick peek at how are we doing out here. Not looking at any of that yet. I'd probably like to get that built next, so let's do that. They're working on building that, so they'll get both of those built. That'll be cool. We also need to think about the stopping of this. So let's have a quick peek at that, shall we? And we might not get all the way, to having everything planned out and stuff today. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go, folks. So there we go. We'll get that in. Get that in, and then what we can do is, this is actually not too tricky. We come here, we come here, we throw a little bit of a platform there, we bung that jobby there, we put a few impermeable floors over there. We go get that impermeable floor back in a second. We chuck those there to get rid of you, get rid of those, and then all we really need to do is, in fact, for the sake of saving planks, because this is just for construction, I'm just going to do that. Some of you are going to really hate that. I know. I don't care. I've been watching JC lately, and it was quite funny seeing him do a little tiny bit of cheese. So I'm watching his Timberpunk series, and he did the barracks cheese to transfer power. And yeah, it was quite funny, the little bit of fuss that he made about that. It's like, dude, just use small warehouses. It's fine. No one cares. Well, maybe some people care, but yeah, play the game how you want to play, really. I don't care. I just thought it was kind of amusing to me. Right. So that's in. So now we need to look at increasing our production capability. And I'm going to just try and run the game slowly and stop constantly pausing it because I know it's a bit annoying. So we need to build 2 buildings that are 4 long. Now we could throw one there, but that's maybe not optimal So maybe the best solution is to do just carry on and accept that we waste this space. Maybe that's the way to do it, or maybe that means probably means unlocking more stuff. What could we do power storage wise? I can't quite fit a medium flywheel in there, so I think that's what we do. I think we just go for Bosch. Again, not sponsored, but would accept the Bosch sponsorship. If you're not finding this funny, I'm sorry. It's been a long day at work. It's been quite a stressful few days. And I'm finding the Bosch jokes funny. So, you know, if you don't appreciate my humor, well, you don't appreciate my humor. And, you know, that's fine. I'm just temporarily going to bung in a few of those and just speed build those, because that'll be a way of getting more metal production going. And probably we want to throw in those quickly to get that going. And then what we need is the dirt, which is 2000 HP. 2000 science and some amount of HP. I also want to get these built so we can start cutting down the trees. And I think we're going to put the dirt excavator somewhere over here. We do want to keep the mine accessible because it's the only mine we have, I believe. Certainly the only mine we're going to have access to in the short term. So, yeah. Let's keep extending your... Because it'd be really nice if we could ultimately join this path up. And once we start getting wheat, which is not that far away, we will look at putting in a bakery. And maybe we could put the bakery back here and run the path round. That would probably work. Or the grist mill back here and run the path round. That would probably be an option. Okay, a little bit of time has progressed and we're now at a point where we need to do a little bit more optimization because we're running out of planks. And some of that is because our lumber mills don't have logs. We have logs. They're just not getting them. Now, this is set up to be prioritized so that logs are brought to it, but then they're not necessarily getting the logs. And so, I mean, there's 77% productivity and 66% productivity. But what I think we could do is we could improve this. And so we're going to come in here and we're going to add a similar rule to what we have on some of the others. So if the input logs is less than, let's just go for like 3, we will prioritize it by haulers. We're going to save that. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to invert it. Invert. Thank you. And we're going to set that to 4. So we're going to give it a quite narrow window where they get prioritized by haulers. We're going to copy that. We're going to bring that over here. And we're going to bring that down to these guys as well. And this one is also set up so that it does get prioritized by haulers as it needs to be. And that way, again, it's not everything is prioritized. They just get prioritized as needed. And I'm hoping that means that we get more planks produced and then the planks will be brought here and turned into treated planks, because at the moment we've only got 31 treated planks and we're going to need 100 odd of them. So yeah, we do have now 78 beavers, but we need more beavers and more beaver beds. So we do need them to get all of this built. We just need everything to be built instantly. That would be kind of great. Obviously, it doesn't work like that. It all takes time. And, you know, I need to keep putting back the well-being stuff unless we just put it somewhere different. We could try and put it all at the ends. Or we just wait until we've got enough beds that it's not a problem. So... we'll see. We'll see which way we go on that front, I guess. Yeah. We've almost got all the scrap metal ripped out, which is great because that's going to free up a whole load of these guys to be doing other things. maybe hauling, because we could do with some more haulers probably. We'll see. We are then going to have like 700 scrap metal waiting to be made into metal related products and metal things. So that's good. Awesome. That's built. We just need the power for it now. I should maybe have put a power meter up here. For now, I'm just going to pause it until it gets sorted. And then we'll unpause it when they have power built. And that's going to let us get a lot more science going, which is good. In terms of building this, so the plan is, the first step is basically to have a ring of, or a layer of soil around it. But to do that, I need to plan everything else. And I might ultimately end up putting back in the colony planner mod so that I can do the layout before I have access to everything. We'll see. We'll see. I've been through once and planned what I want to do, so I might not need to do that. We'll just have to wait and see how it all works out. But we are now at the point where we're having some power issues, which kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. Gotta admit. So you do need some automation. So let's sort that out. So if we do district stock paper greater than, I've got to do it this way. And then we need a district capacity paper. No, that's district stock again. I'm so bad for clicking the wrong thing. It's one of the great things about having you folks watching is you're really good at picking me up on that kind of stuff. Copy, paste, times 0.95, save, discard, close, duplicate, invert, script. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. Sorry. I am so sorry. I am so sorry that you had to listen to that. Automate, Bosch. At the very least, you need that. But also what we need to do is script. District stock. I'm just going to do... I could just pause it, but let's do it properly, folks. I said do it properly. I'm going to do the really lazy one of Bosch, pause, save, duplicate, invert, script, and 20, save and close, because I don't think I'm running smart power, so that's going to help save some power usage, which is good. Down here we are okay, so that's good. Those will switch off once they've done their thing. You still don't have power, so I guess you'll get there. Over here, you're still doing your thing. Fair enough. I'm thinking a couple of things. One, we're very close to having wheat, so let's start setting up our bread production. And yeah, this is kind of inefficient from a pathing point of view, but baker dude's only, or milling dude's only going to be milling a little bit, so you know, I think he'll be okay. We didn't want a pile there. I'm going to do a medium warehouse, and I'm going to make that. Let's think. What's the most efficient way of storing this? So, wheat. That's the bakery. Yeah, dummy. We mill it, we get the same, and then the bread goes up. So we might as well store it as flour. We might as well mill it. So let's do that. We'll put a small warehouse there for wheat set to obtain. So let's let them do that. We will do, I really like this little jobby. On construction equals finish, pause. Save and close. I think that's a really neat little trick that automation lets you do. We will also automate off of that. And then we're going to need a baker. We can put the baker somewhere else. So that'll be fine. We have 13 spare beavers at the moment. So would probably behoove us, using big words for no reason, to bosh a couple more of those in. Are you done yet? No, you're not, but you're getting there. Now, we could have put in big windmills here, but we really don't need it for powering this, so I think we'll be fine. We are coming to the beginnings of a drought, which is good, because things are getting dicey, folks. We've got 1.5 blocks left. So, yeah, things are a little bit dicey. Things are a little bit dicey, you know. We'll do what we can do, you know. We've now got 40 treated planks, so that's pretty good. The metal production is just as 50% and 40%. It's not horrendous, but it's not great. So yeah, we do just need much more science now. To be able to get all of the stuff done. We can now unpause this, which will start giving us much more science. I should maybe have built 2 of these. I should have done a whole lot of stuff, and I should have done a whole lot of stuff much earlier. I was kind of faffing, to be honest. We have a little bit of water spillage. I've set this to be higher. I've set this to be 0.95 to try and get as much water out of here into here, and it has overflowed onto the top of the water blocks, which is interesting. But it's just kind of sat there now, so that's a thing. But anyway, 6-day drought. So I can't remember what the maximum was. I think it might have been 8. So a kind of middle of the road length drought. But we are most of the way to the science that we need for the dirt excavator. We really could do with more plank production going on. So I think we should maybe start putting in more plank production. Controversial, I know. And I'm not sure where we could put it easily, to be honest. This is in a bad place. These are in a bad place, but kind of is what it is. Anyway, let's think. Let's kind of draw this out, shall we? By draw it out, I mean plan to start building it. So if I put you back over here, if I connect you to that, then you're going to transfer power as well, aren't you, though? There's not a lot of benefit to that because that's right on the top there. You can go now because you've cleared all of the trees out anyway. We've got the mine there, which we need to be mindful of. If I look at the power, it's 40 planks, it's 20 planks, but it generates double the power. So it generates 300. It only needs 200, so we could get away with doing, and we could actually get away with 1 large windmill. So if I put it there, it's okay. So if we put it there, that's good. And then if I put 1 there. That works. So let's prioritize you and you initially. And then we'll do you. And then we'll put you there and you there. That gives us quite a lot of power generation, but not a huge amount of power storage, which is fine-ish. We need some amount of dirt storage, and I know the small ones are not ideal. I'm working here, folks. I'm just working. I don't know what. And then we can do plank production there and there. And if I go make you and you a priority as well. And I think we should put a power meter on this lot as well. If I put it there and higher prioritize that so it gets built before those, and that will be okay. Let's go grab the rules, because rules help control the fun. Bosh, bosh. And then what we're going to do is, so we want battery charge greater than 1%. And then we want to do automate off of you, automate off of you, automate off of you, because it's just helping us manage our workforce. You are not going to get finished before those get finished, so that should be fine. Awesome. We are working our way towards dirt, folks. Let's get you closed in. Just because we should. And then we are going to want to put up here a dirt pile. And we're going to want to put over here a dirt pile. Bosh and bosh. And yeah, we'll see how we get on there. If you're wondering why in the editing there are many pauses and mini cuts, our dog has been ill over the weekend. It's one of the reasons that I didn't do a great job of trying to make a video over the weekend, apart from the fact that I was kind of worn out from doing family stuff. And he's been to the vets, and my wife and I are discussing that. He's okay. He's got an ear infection. But it's the first time he's been ill since we've had him. So, yeah, we're kind of just chatting now because we're both very relieved. Having had previous, if you're new here, we used to have 4 dogs. We now have 1 dog that we've not had for very long because all of the other dogs passed away through old age. But those of you that have been, and health complications, one of them wasn't particularly old. Those of you that have been around a long time know most of this because I have mentioned all of this stuff through time. But yeah, so we should manage automation of this. And so I keep pausing because we're slowly chatting through WhatsApp. I also want to, if I'm doing it off of battery charge status, I need to get that built as well. Cool. You want a bajillion gears, so I'm just going to pause that for a second so they can finish building that other stuff. That would make sense to me at the very least. It might not make sense to you, but... So we've got that we've got wheat coming in now. So we also need to think about getting you and you done, and also you. And And we will need a bakery shortly, so that we can bake the wheat, because that's what you do. You bake wheat. We are also going to build one more of you because I would like more builders available. Please, game. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. So that's almost ripped out. So we're going to get a big surge in workforce as well, which will be cool. You are disconnected because the ladder's not been built yet. So let's encourage them to build the ladder. There's probably just a general shortage of planks at the moment, which is fine. General shortage was, I believe, a famous... I have no idea, so I'm actually not going to complete that, just in case general shortage was a complete arsehole. You always have to be careful saying things like that because it's meant as a complete joke, but general shortage could have been a complete arse. Who knows, Who knows? Well, someone probably does. So, recipe is going to be wheat. Depending on where you are in the world, that's how you pronounce that word, apparently. Yeah. So... we have a little bit of time. We now have the 2000 science we need to unlock the terrain block. Actually, it was only 1000 science, so we can now unlock the terrain block. We also need to unlock the overhang. We need at least the 6x and the 5x. So we need quite a bit more science. So we'll keep letting science grind its way onwards and indeed upwards, because at the moment we still just need a lot more stuffs. So yeah, it'd be really nice if they could finish this. The things, all of the things are needed to be finished, please. Because I'm guessing this needs gears as well. Yeah. We need lots of gears. And we don't have lots of gears. Because I've kind of ignored some of the basic production stuff. And we're kind of dealing with not a lot of space. Which is one of the reasons that I've started to switch to bread. Because bread is quite space efficient. So yeah. That's my thought. That's my theory. That's my thesis for today, folks. We're getting the treated planks done. We've got 21 of the blighters, which is a lot of what we need to... It's a decent amount. We need 20 gears, please. 20 gears, please. Anyone got some gears? Actually, we need 30-odd gears. So, yeah, I'll be back with you in a moment when they've made some more gears. So what I'm going to do to get around the gear problem is we're going to delete this. This gives us all the gears back. This will get us the power we need to make this. And I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to put in another gear workshop. So that we can make gears faster. I think it'll give us all the gears that we need. It'll give us a lot of the gears that we need. There we go. So we've got that. So now what we're going to do is put in a wood gears gear workshop. Get that built. Going to go grab the rules. Bosh. I'm going to automate off of you, and then we're going to put back the dirt excavator. And we've got 83 treated planks, which is awesome, but we do need 100 gears. So I think actually we'll get rid of you, and we'll put another one there as well. Because we can always build more science things, But actually the thing that's holding us back at the moment is things like planks and gears. So let's get planks and gears. shall we? It seems like a jolly sensible idea to me, folks, because what we really need to do is get the ring going around the edge to give us another layer of protection. Always use protection, folks. Always use protection, unless you're trying to conceive a child and you're with another consenting adult. Life tips with Disturbed. Don't take life tips from me, honestly, folks. Just try and be a good human being. There you go. There's a life tip. So yeah, we need another 19 odd planks and metric arse ton load of gears. We are okay for logs, just about. Just make sure they are set to be cut. These are going to be our future pine harvesting trees. So that's good. Power-wise, this little dude is working his heart out. Long term, we need some better power storage over here. But I just wanted to get something up and running to help with what we need to build everything, you know? It's one of the kind of... It's a thing, folks. It's a thing. So, yeah. But we can build a lot of the first... We can build all of the first layer of protection without the metal, because we do still have a metal problem. Now, this, I think, is using... Yeah, it's using some of the metal up that we've made, but not all of it. But we do need much gear stuffage now. So, I mean, probably what would help us is if I put in, like, a little bit of storage for logs and planks. And maybe... I mean, the gears are probably going straight into the construction anyway. But let's do that. See if that helps us out a little bit. We are missing 24 beavers at the moment, which kind of sucks. Which is probably a lot of our science. Which does suck, you know. But we are still generating science. We are getting this one closed off now, which is good. They should then start working on this one, which will be good. It will slow down the rate of impending apocalypse. Yeah. So the goal is to reopen all of the sources. I don't like having them closed off. It's a temporary thing. Something I'd forgotten to do was prioritize the construction, and I've still forgotten to do it, of the dirt excavator. And I've also prioritized the construction of the large wind turbine at the back. So we should hopefully get those both done relatively quickly now. I do need more power storage for all of this. We'll work that out later. I just need to get this thing going and making some dirt, which now is just down to gears. So that's cool. We will store the... We'll get the treated planks filled up and stored for now, because there's the potential that I'm going to want to put another one of these in. So, yeah. And we do have really need to get to do the automation better. Let's do that. You are hooked up to the power grid, so we could do the automation back here. So we could go Bosch, and you are surplus. And as long as the surplus is greater than, I guess, 1, because all that's saying is there enough power to run everything, not worrying about if there's stored power. And then we want the relay, which we'll put here. We'll just let them wait on building that. So we need another 50 gears. Okay, we'll come back to that in a moment. Let's jump outside. So we've got those blocked off. I guess the question is, do we, while we're waiting, maybe block this off as well? It wouldn't be super difficult to get to. I'm going to do that. So this will buy us a little bit more time. I'm going to be super cheesy. What flavor of cheese do you enjoy, folks? I enjoy robot head flavored cheese. So yes, we are gonna cheese this a little bit. Do that, and then you and you, and then we can just put a staircase there. And then just to make it nice and neat, we'll put the staircase. That's really not nice and neat, is it? Nope. There, and then you and you and you, and we'll do that. Again, just trying to buy a little bit of time whilst we get things up and running. So what do we need? 45 more gears. So frustrating. And you're running it. You're not even... You need to have beavers in you. Get beavers in you. We are missing a lot of beaver. We've got a lot of empty beds. So hopefully now they've built all of the housing, they will fill those empty beds. And we will have a much bigger population soon. Yeah, so I guess while we're waiting, I'm going to deprioritize some of the building. Because that should be fine. We can... Now they've got rid of most of that, I'm going to rip all of those out. The builders will pick up those. And things are a bit better suddenly. Apart from the fact that we've paused because of lack of power generation, which isn't brilliant. You know, not brilliant at all. There is a genuine risk that we will fail, mainly because I made strategic errors. That's fine, you know, I'm not ashamed of the fact that I screwed up. Wow, that's a loud helicopter. Where are... Oh, that's actually vibrating my chair I'm sat on. Where are the other small sources? So you are another one that we could look at getting. So I'm kind of thinking that we try and seal off as many as we can while we wait for the resources that we need to become available. So you, where are you? I'm not going to do it again, don't worry. Impermeable floor. More levees, and then wash. What I am going to do is a little bit more mozzarella. And do that. And then we'll run you to there. And we'll get that wrapped up. So that will have sealed off 6 of those sources. And if we then get that one done as well, that will make a reasonable difference to the amount of water coming in. And we only need 11 more gears, which is kind of good. So yeah, that will be a good thing. I am going to wrap up I think pretty much once we get the dirt excavator going, and we'll plan for, we'll do the next video. We'll start building the roof. So I have ended up in a different spot to where I was before. I didn't get as far into the construction of the dirt excavator, but I had done some of the planning of things. Let's get some stuff unlocked that we're going to need. So we're going to need the 6x1 overhang. We're going to need the 5x1 overhang. And we're going to need some of the smaller ones as well as we go through. I'd quite like to... oh, they're starting to get this one sealed off as well. Awesome. That's going to make a big difference, I think. I'd quite like to get another tower of ladders up here so that we can be getting up here from this side, so we're not having to go all the way around. I think that'll really help with the construction. Can I plan for that? If I put it there... That will work. Yep. That will work. Awesome. Something like that. I just think that will really help with, because we're trying to build from both sides. I did want to get zip lines going, and if we can, we will, but we really just need to prioritize not flooding as much as we can. So... right, we have dirt, folks. So that one is going to be our thumbnail. So you already know that I got dirt, which is maybe kind of anticlimactical. I don't know. And B, that's going to be it for today, folks. So next time, we're going to start building the roof. As I said, I do know that this map is designed to have a flat roof. I just don't think I can build it quick enough because of all of the supporting structure that it needs. I might have another look at that. Because basically I think the reason I'm saying that is I think to be able to build it effectively, and by effectively, I mean not be massively frustrating for me to plan and for you to watch. I need to build some kind of like bridge scaffold structure over the top of it. Which is going to need quite a lot of planks and logs. And we don't have a huge amount of those. Now, this structure is going to use quite a lot of planks, logs, and metal. Anyway, so I am now torn, actually. My concern is that I won't be able to get it done quick enough. Now, the counter is that we branch out and bang a few of these guys out. You know, let's just jump back to our spreadsheet just to wrap up. We're going to wrap up with some maths, and it's maths, not fucking math. And I'm late enough in the video that if you're still here, you can put up with me swearing. So if we dropped it down to 2 of those, we're down to 600 beavers. Now we're going to end up maybe with like 150 at the moment. And if I covered 3 of the outside sources for now, that'd be okay. That would give us time to work. I think so we've got like these 3 active sources around here. we've got tunnels that we could get to get out from here, and we could make use of the watertight passage. Not used it before, but we could make use of that. And I'm freeforming at the end of the video here. So, and we could, and this is crude and coarse as, and they're all water source blocks. They're 0 strength ones, so we can't do anything with those. But I mean, that's not quite going to work. Nope. Nope. If we delete you, I'm just curious about how many resources this would use. So 5 and 6, and each one of those is 12. So 10 plus 12 is 22. 22 times 12. Anyone? Bueller? 22 times 12. 268 logs per layer. And then we'd need 4, maybe not that many layers actually. Can I get away with a double there? Just exploring, folks. No. So we'd need to build up 1, 2, 3. So we'd need to build up 5 layers all the way around. So that's like 1,000 logs. Or it's 22 times 510 times 400 dirt. And we make, so about 100 hours, so about 4 days per one. During that time, we could be increasing the number of beavers we produce, but we couldn't be working on sealing things. But we could just go round and close off like 3 of those whilst increasing our population. And then when we come back and seal, once we've then sealed the roof in, we could reopen them. And we could even put in a like a throttling valve so that we could just turn the tap on and let the water back out. So, ladies and gentlemen, and those who are anywhere in between, and I do not mean that in an offensive way, however you choose to identify, we have plan D for defense, which is to temporarily, and maybe that's what these tunnels are meant for. Maybe these tunnels are a hint. You know, do we temporarily push out into the waterlands, build ourselves some things to block off these water sources while still increasing our population, That will allow us to then do whichever we want to do for the roof. I like Plan D. But let me know what you guys think. I hope only some of you will have watched to the end. So only some of you will know what Plan D is. So if you like Plan D, please comment down below. And yeah, so we've got you, and then over this side, we've got, I think, these three. So we could maybe focus it on the smallest three so that the construction is the least, although it's easier to get out this side. Or is it? There are tunnels all the way through, so we could get out to like this one, which is relatively smaller. I think I'd ignore the brambles and just get a lid on it. It's actually quite low as well, so that one would be relatively easier. Yeah, let me know what you think, folks, about Plan D for defense. But we are done. I'm rambling. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. If you're interested in any of those, there's buttons and links down below. Patreon usually gets early access to the videos by about half a day. I will see you all next time.